All right, time to do our weather live stream, 8:33 on this Thursday morning. If you clicked on the little push alert on your smartphone, it said you're going to get a weekend peak. I think we could even do better than that. We could give you a lot to see about the weekend weather. There's plenty to discuss. Hi, this is First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon, live in the First Alert Weather Center. This is where we do all of our forecasting. This is where we do some of our live streaming. And we will talk about all of your weather here in Northeast Wisconsin. Let's give you a bird's eye view from our Appleton Sky Cam. And good morning, Fox Valley. We've got some clouds overhead right now. Appleton started off kind of sunny, but now I'd say it's mostly cloudy. But we're dry. It's 37 degrees, wind chill 33, west wind at 9 miles an hour. It's looking overcast a little farther south in Oshkosh, 35, wind chill 39 rather, wind chill 35. West wind at 6 miles an hour. We're kind of on the edge of some clouds. And if you hop in the car from Green Bay and go down in the valley, you'll hit them. They're kind of stretched out across the southern half of the state. And you can see underneath this little disturbance that's producing the clouds across the southern half of the state, we do have some rain showers. We'll give you a view of First Alert Viper Max, and cutting through with Shara, Marquette, Green Lake counties, and now in western Fond du Lac County, there's a little bit of some light rain. And if you look at the radar, yeah, you know what? Maybe there's a couple sprinkles around the Oshkosh area, at least around Omro too. So that's all sagging south and east, and most of these showers will be along and south of Highway 10 between now and the end of the morning. All right, let's switch gears and talk about our temperatures. It's not as cold this morning. We're mostly in the 30s, 40 degrees right now in Sheboygan with some 20s north and west. It's 29 in Wausau. It's 25 degrees in Anago. 36 right now in Green Bay, on the way to a high of 54. It's going to be a mild late March day. We'll have some clouds and maybe a shower in the south. Otherwise, brighter skies from Green Bay into the north. It'll be a partly cloudy afternoon, and we'll be dropping back into the upper 40s this evening. Sunset at 7:14. Tammy Elliott seemed excited about that later sunset when we did our live stream at 7:05. All right, so now we'll talk about our next weather maker. Have you been watching our weathercast this week? We've been talking about this storm system coming in this weekend. There are three things that I want you to watch for. First of all, tomorrow, we've got a chance of thunderstorms. And second on the list, a widespread cold rain falls this weekend. And then number three on the list, and this is probably the most important one, freezing rain with maybe a bit of a wintry mix, some sleet, some snow mixed in with that icy rain across northern Wisconsin. And that's going to be deeper into the weekend. So we've got multiple first alert weather days because of potentially hazardous, slippery travel across the North Woods. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, the weekend severe weather outlook is in the moderate category. And just a heads up, the National Weather Service has issued a winter storm watch. This is for Friday into Saturday morning for Upper Michigan. That includes Menominee County, Michigan. Now, winter weather alerts may start expanding farther south into northern Wisconsin between now and the weekend. So we're going to keep a very sharp eye on this developing weather situation. So let's set the stage. First Alert Pinpoint Predictor shows you tomorrow's high temperatures, and that's impressive. Look at the wide range of high temperatures. I mean, Marquette, Michigan might be lucky to get back to the freezing mark tomorrow. While out towards the Twin Cities, they could take a run at 80 degrees. You see, what's happening is there's a strong warm front that's going to push through southern Wisconsin into central Wisconsin, and it probably will stall out and be the dividing line between cold air across the northern Great Lakes, highs in the 30s and 40s, to south of the warm front where it's going to feel like spring, highs in the 60s and 70s. And it's along that frontal boundary, this clash of the air masses, we'll have a little impulse of low pressure coming overhead, and that rising air and the instability will cause some scattered thunderstorms. So tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, northeast Wisconsin has a level 1 risk of severe weather on the 1 to 5 scale. It's a marginal risk of severe weather. The thing to watch for is that some of these thunderstorms tomorrow could have some hail, up to 1 inch in diameter, and mainly because of some of the colder temperatures aloft in the atmosphere. So that's conducive for building a lot of hail, which could pop up with any of these thunderstorms that happen tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So we'll have that chance of thunder for tomorrow and tomorrow night. And then a little bit of a lull in the activity early Saturday morning, but another impulse of low pressure comes on in this active weather pattern, and this is going to create rain Saturday afternoon and Saturday night as the temperatures drop down through the 30s. Look at that pink color there on Pinpoint Predictor. That's not good. That is bad news. North of Green Bay, that area of pink is primarily freezing rain, mixed with a little bit of some sleet and maybe some wet snowflakes. But we're going to have some tricky travel Saturday night into Sunday across northern Wisconsin. Now, if we take our precipitation forecast, this is rain and melted snow all the way out through Monday. This is a good soaking rain event across northern Wisconsin, 1 to 2 inches. And I say good only in the sense that the moisture is overdue. But it's really bad because a lot of it's going to come down as a glaze of ice. And I'm concerned that, especially Anago and Northeast, there could be quite a serious ice storm developing in the latter half of the weekend. There may be a lot of folks that pick up a good 1/4 inch of ice accretion or ice accumulation. And if that happens, it's going to be very, very, very slippery across like Highway 8 into Upper Michigan. We may have some power outages across the North Woods as the weekend rolls on. So, and it's really tricky because, temperatures, a degree or two either way, could really change the type of precipitation that you're going to get. But we're going to continue to track this weather maker and give you updates all through tomorrow and the weekend on air and online. That way you and your family know what's going on, especially as we're kind of wrapping up spring break for a lot of families. And there may be some families who are heading back into Northeast Wisconsin, traveling back into the area. We hopefully are going to have a safe drive back home for a lot of folks. We'll keep people informed on what's going on. So there's your First Alert Super 7-day forecast. Maybe a morning shower in the south, clouds with more sun in the north. High 54. That 54 for Friday's high, that's for Green Bay, but trying to pin down an exact high temperature tomorrow is going to be just ridiculously hard, especially when you have temperatures ranging from the 30s across the north to the 70s farther south. I mean, you might as well take a dart and just throw it at a dartboard and hope you guess right. But the temperatures over the weekend seem a little bit more uniform, at least in the valley, upper 30s with low and mid 30s across the north, where you're going to get the rounds of rain and then freezing rain and some mixed precipitation. And then this weather maker kind of comes to an end as we go into Monday morning. We'll have some snow showers, and the flakes may still be lingering down in the Milwaukee area mixed with some rain just in time for the Brewers home opener. Oh boy, look at that weather for baseball season. The Brewers have their first game today in New York against the Yankees, but their home opener, well, that's Monday afternoon against the Kansas City Royals. Chance of rain and or snow with temperatures in the mid-30s. It's going to be inside. The roof will be closed. If you have any tailgate plans beforehand, bring some hot chocolate, bring some warm brats, anything to keep yourself warm. Make sure you got the coats and the hoodies and all that stuff. And then you probably won't need that so much when you take your seat in the American Family Field bleachers or box seats or wherever you got your seats. But anyway, so the Brewers home opener, not very spring-like. It's going to be cold, it's going to be rainy and snowy, but at least they've got a retractable roof. All right, and looking at the First Alert Super 7-day forecast, Tuesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. We're going to be getting out to vote across the state. Looks like it's going to be quiet. Sun, then increasing clouds, low 40s, and then some mid-40s on Wednesday with some rain. Could see some mixed precipitation in the morning, and I can't rule out some thunder. Yep, some more thunder as we go into Tuesday. We're definitely on the precipice of more of a spring-like weather pattern, but before it really takes hold across the area, we're going to have some more crankiness from Old Man Winter. All right, so there is more than just a peek of your weekend forecast. Pretty much held nothing back for you there. All right, so Action 2 News mid-morning starts in about 15 minutes. Aisha Morales is going to have your top news stories of the day. I will take a look at the weather once again. We'll give you some key stories across the area. Perhaps we'll throw in a little bit of some fun as well. And we are trying to enjoy our Friday Eve. It's Thursday. We could call it Friday Eve or Friday Junior around here. Tomorrow's the real Friday, Friday Senior, and then the weekend. And of course, the weekend looks to be a little bit messy and wet. And we'll first alert you to what's going on with that storm system. All right, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Enjoy the sun if you've got it right now. Bye-bye.